Om परिपूर्णतमं शांतं राधाकांतं मनोहरं सत्यं ब्रह्मस्वरूपं च नित्यं कृष्णं नमाम्यहम्। नित्यं कृष्णं नमाम्यहम्। नित्यं कृष्णं नमाम्यहम्। परिपूर्णतमं शांतं. This is who Krishna is. परिपूर्णतमम पूर्ण है. He is perfect. He is ever complete, and therefore Shantam, ever peaceful. If there is incompleteness, we understand that there cannot be peace in the mind. The mind will certainly be restless. We are aware. And Krishna, that state of Paripurnatamam, that is our highest possibility too. The mind silenced through jnana, through right knowledge, right understanding, it will naturally lead to a state of peace, akarana, unconditioned. Today, we will talk about compassionate interaction with people. Let us study a few points that are imperative, that are so necessary to inculcate within ourselves. Every day we have to meet all kinds of people. You have asked a question that you are not living with your husband now because he was too tamasic a character. He was very possessive, very controlling, and abusive too. Now, in the last few days, he has been approaching you and asking you if both of you can live together once again. So, you met him, and within 2-3 hours, you understood that he is still very controlling, very possessive, and as abusive as he was earlier. Now, how to interact with these people compassionately? There are two aspects to all such problems. One is, of course, the fencing aspect. Because as we have not become the big trees, the sapling is still very tender. Our roots are still shaky. So we get extremely disturbed by the tamasic characteristics. So therefore, the concept of fencing was introduced, and many of us are trying to follow it. But that is not the complete story. That is about your prarabdha. But what about your samskaras? What about your habit patterns? This getting disturbed when some overbearing people are there in front of you, or when tamas is strong in certain people, they might not be overbearing, but still confusion, repetition, procrastination, blaming others, criticizing others. When all these traits are present, how to interact? You cannot be putting a fence around yourself against everybody in your life. With a few, of course, you can do. But there are certain people you have to interact on a daily basis. It could be somebody from your family, near relatives or distant relatives, near friends or distant friends, or people unknown even. When you go to the market, you come across all kinds of people. The other day, you were telling about the scuffle that took place in a market over parking, and you were involved in that scuffle. How to interact compassionately. This is one of the very important aspects of sadhana, your spiritual practice. A few points let us contemplate. One, patience, sabr. When I used to study in Delhi during my college days, so I used to be close to certain professors. So I remember one of the professors telling me that he was in Delhi University teaching there because not for some monetary gains, for spiritual gains. There was so much politics over there. So that was a good practice ground for him to develop patience, endurance. Imagine yourself in a situation where people are really testing your patience. Any past incident, can you think about it? Somebody was testing your patience to the extreme. And you reacted at that time. Now reenact the whole scene. It's not difficult. It has to be cultivated. And this reenaction, playing it again in your mind with a different mindset on your part, is always very helpful. So the other person is, say, angry with you, and you are not reacting. You are patiently observing. You are patiently understanding. You are in no hurry to react, to even respond. Because you understand that this development of patience is primary for you, is much more important than explaining, defending yourself, or arguing. Nothing is worth it. In the end, you must have seen n number of times that these arguments don't take you anywhere. You are not able to find solutions in most such conversations, interactions. Imagine yourself, reenact the whole thing. You are patience personified. Somebody is misunderstanding you and criticizing you. You are patience personified. Your husband has come back and is asking if you can live together again. And when you give him a chance, he is repeating his patterns, because of which you are living separately now. And this time you are patience personified. आप सब्र की मूर्ति हो. I don't have to argue. There's no need. When tamas or rajas, that is agraha, expectations, desires are very strong in a certain mind, no arguments are listened to. Things always fall on barren grounds. The second point that I have just mentioned while talking about patience, observation. Instead of looking at the facade, the body of the person that is there in front of you, try to understand the subtle body, the mind, intellect, and habit patterns, equipment that you are not able to see with your naked eyes. But through his speech or through his vibes or through his actions, you can understand now that from what all qualities, what all combination of the three qualities that this person is operating. And it is okay. Everybody is being driven by his or her desires. It is okay. There's a beautiful story. There's a farmer who is going to a buffalo market, which is about 10 kilometers from his village, to buy a buffalo. On the way, he meets one of his friends coming back. And this first farmer, actually, the story goes like this, that he has one buffalo that he wants to sell because it is getting old now, and he wants to buy a new one, a younger one, a stronger one. And when he meets his friend on the way, they start talking, asking about each other's health, about family, the chit-chat. While they are talking, the two buffaloes, one that the friend has bought from the market and is bringing with him back to his village, and his old buffalo, they also start talking. Two buffaloes are talking with each other. And one of the buffaloes is telling the other about his observation, his understanding. What is it? That this, my master, he feels that he is controlling me. I will not go away because he has put a rope around my neck. He does not know that even he cannot go away until this rope is there in his hands. मेरा मालिक सोच रहा है कि मैंने इस बफेलो को पकड़ा हुआ है, ये भाग के नहीं जा सकती है। मेरा मालिक नहीं समझ रहा है कि वो भी नहीं जा सकता है। तो किसने किसको पकड़ा हुआ है? हु इज पोजेसिंग whom? Your husband, who is very possessive, actually, if you look at the mind of such a person, he himself becomes possessed by this idea of possession. What we are trying to control actually controls us. And you are observing without trying to control the person with whom you are interacting. You don't want to control anybody anymore. Of course, sometimes it is possible that you may have to pay a small price in the form of maybe money or some other material things. That is okay. This is not a bad trade. Remaining peaceful and losing a bit in the process. So observation, patiently observing the person with whom you are communicating and interacting. Understanding the three qualities, understanding the incompleteness that is there in him, understanding the likes, dislikes, strong expectations, strong insistence. It is okay. Now you have to put yourself in a wall or in an enclosure of detachment. Non-expectation is the key to detachment, and that is the third point. Non-expectation. आग्रह छोड़ दो कि वो बदल जाए. Expecting that he should change, he should understand, let it go from your mind. Sabr, Shuddha Drishti, lack of expectations, which means acceptance. Fourth point, whatever is happening in his mind is his business, none of yours. His habit patterns, his characteristics, his tamas, rajas, sattva combination, that is his problem, not yours. So it means our seventh law of peace, what was it? What they say about me or think about me has nothing to do with who I truly am. Who knows me better than myself? There is a person very bossy, very overbearing, and is unnecessarily blaming you, criticizing you, misunderstanding you. That is the time of your spiritual practice. It's not on the meditation seat only that you have to do the practice. You have to do it more vigilantly in these situations. So you are not responsible for what is happening in their minds. The kind of mental formations they are attached with, their business. Your business is the kind of mental formations that you are having in your mind. Paripurnatamam Antam. That is the best possibility of all of us. Another point is that howsoever, whatever his behavior is, you still remain filled with compassion and gratitude. अपने मन से प्रेम, दया, करुणा, शुक्रगुजारिता न जाने दें. What is it that we are grateful for? Giving us an opportunity to practice what we practice on our meditation sheet. Now we are practicing in front of this person. And if you do have to respond, do it compassionately and yet firmly and clearly and honestly. Be truthful, be honest. Yesterday we were talking about the tapa, the austerity of speech. Anudvega karam vakyam. Don't say words that will cause turbulence in his mind. Don't let his words create turbulence in your mind, and at the same time, don't say words or don't do anything that will create turbulence in his mind. And be truthful, be loving. Ram does not hate Ravana. Imagine that state. Even your enemies, you are very comfortable and compassionate with them too. That is our best possibility. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते. We are praying to Krishna, the Karuna Sindho, Deen Bandho. You are the ocean of mercy, ocean of love. In order to receive that Karuna, that compassion from him, our mind has to resonate with his mind. We ought to be on the same frequency. That is how you receive his compassion, his mercy. Another point, you ought to be an active listener. Listen, listen. You ought to be the one who speaks in the end. After having got the entire input, after having understood the entire situation, after having understood the needs of the person in front of you and your own needs, then you respond mindfully. So Ram does not hate Ravan. Krishna does not hate Duryodhan. They clearly know, there is not even an iota of doubt in their minds that the divine spark is there in one and all. They never forget Rom Rom Me Ram, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, one eternal awareness everywhere. एक नूर ते सब जग उपजया, कौन भले कौन मंदे. एक नूर, one light everywhere, in everybody. So when you develop this understanding, when you sincerely do work on this understanding, you will not get irritated by anybody. Ramana, he was living in the ashrama. His students had built the ashrama in Tiruvannamalai. Earlier, he had been living in two caves that are there on the Arunachala hill, Virupaksha cave and Skanda cave. And slowly people came to know about him. People from all over the world started coming to see him. So his students, they built a small ashrama. He was living in one of the rooms, and one day some thieves came in. And they perhaps thought that this must be a rich man who has so many devotees. So at night they came, they wanted to enter through the window. So they were trying to break open the window. As Ramana saw them, he told them, "Arey Baba, wo darwaza khula hai, wahan se aa jao. The door is open. Why are you breaking this window?" And they were, the mind was so confused and so full of thoughting, they were not listening to what he was saying. So they broke the window open, came inside, and he remained quiet, calm, loving. That is our Nij Niketan, our eternal home. Quiet, calm, loving, even with the thieves. No malice, no anger, no hatred, no irritation. That is where we have to reach. That is what we need to practice every single day. Let us practice the mantras in this light. This moment is the most beautiful moment of our lives. Let go of this thought that in the future it would be better. This thought actually kills peace in one's mind. That sometime in the future, when this happens, when that happens. No. Let go of this thought and stay in the moment and practice the mantras. Pure joy is pure observation. Shuddhananda Shuddha Drishti. Shuddhananda Shuddha Drishti, pure observation. Guna Guneshu Vartant, the qualities are playing amongst qualities. Whatever is manifested, it has its own qualities. All these manifestations are just playing amongst themselves. Pure observation. Pure observation of one's own patterns and detaching from them. Acknowledging that these patterns have not given me what I truly wanted, my peace, my freedom. I have been tying the buffalo with a rope, thinking that I own the buffalo and I'll not let it go. It cannot go away. I have not understood that I was actually tied. I was only believing that that buffalo was tied. In reality, I was tied. I let go of my hold over these ropes. Those who wish to go away, I bless them. No hatred, no malice, no controlling, no possessiveness. Let it be. The way it is, let it be. I am complete, paripurnatamam, within myself. I am free, I am independent. I am, pure joy is Jagrat Samatha, mindful balance. Pure observation leads to balance. Two concepts are there, Trigunatit and Dvandvatit. Triguna, three qualities of the mind, transcending them. That is, letting go of one's attachments with tamasic and rajasic X factors. And even the sattvic ones, like going to a different place, I'll be practicing better. Meeting with these people, I'll be able to practice better. I need to visit these places, spiritual places. I need to have a different place for myself in my own home where I can. Now, these also become traps of the mind. Sattvic X factors. People around me should be loving. There should be harmony in the family. There should be harmony in relationships. Even these factors, although they appear to be good X factors, they also cause so much pain in our minds. Trigunatita means just aligning oneself with the reality. This is God's wish. I am aligned with it. And Dvandvatita, whatever the pairs of opposites I face in this lifetime, gain or loss, I am ever equanimous. Success is there, I am peaceful. Failure is there, I am peaceful. People understanding me, not understanding me, I am peaceful. Whatever the situation is, now it will be rainy, now it will be cold, now it will be hot, and now it will be spring, and now it will be autumn. In the life also, it follows the same patterns. It cannot be springtime all the time, and it cannot be rains, storms all the time. Things go on changing. Nothing is permanent here. But me in mindful balance, that is permanent. I refuse to be a victim of the circumstances and of the behaviors of people around me. Trigunatit, द्वंद्वातीत। शुद्धानंद पूर्ण समर्पण, total acceptance of the uncertain, total acceptance of the uncontrollable, total acceptance of the behaviors, total acceptance of the apparent imperfections, and total acceptance of total acceptance. True joy is peaceful completeness, Shant Purnata, Paripurnatamam Shantam. Bhagavan says, Yasman no dvijate lokah, lokan no dvijate cha yah. हर्षा मर्ष भयोद्वेगई पुक्तो य सच में प्रिय। यस्मान नो द्विजते लोकः, लोकान नो द्विजते च यः. One who does not cause any perturbance, any turbulence in the minds of others, and one who does not get perturbed by people, by their minds, their thinking, their behavior. One who is free from excitement, jealousy, bhaya, fears, udveg, restlessness. That devotee is dear to me. Bhakta sa me priya. Harsha, Marsha, Bhaya, Udveg, Mukto, one who is free from all this. Sacha me priya. So along with devotion, Shant Purnata, not getting perturbed by anything, that is how you have to live. All of us have to practice. Pure joy is loving kindness for one and all. Sudhanand, Akaran Prem, Shuddha Prem. In which there is no control. You don't want to control people. You don't want to get anything in return for your love. You're not bargaining, you're not shopkeeping, you're not possessive. You are just love. आप प्रेम से बने हो, सोचो इसको. You are made of love. How would you feel if you imbibe, if you absorb this thought? And Shudhanand, abhi yahi, here and now, pure observation and mindful balance and total acceptance and peaceful completeness and loving kindness When? Here and now. Right now, right here, Nij Niketana. I am home. I am home. I am home. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bless you all. Om Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat Sajjana Shantimapnuyat Shanto Muchet Bandhebhyah Muktashchanyan Vimochaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain peace. This is for all of us. May the virtuous attain peace. May the peaceful get liberated. May the liberated help others in getting liberated. May there be peace, peace, and eternal peace in the hearts of all of us and the hearts of all beings. Thank you.